Every year, Rockstar Games chose not to release GTA 6. They were walking away from what could have been billions of dollars in immediate sales. Think about that for a second. In almost every business, delaying your biggest product is considered a disaster. Investors get impatient, customers lose interest, competitors catch up, and momentum disappears. Yet Rockstar did something that sounds almost irrational. They stayed silent for years while millions of fans begged for the next Grand Theft Auto. Rumors flooded the internet, and every tiny leak became global news. Most companies would have rushed the game out the door to cash in as quickly as possible. Rockstar did the exact opposite. They slowed everything down, kept spending more money, and somehow became even more valuable. It raises a question that completely changes how you think about business. How can a company make more money by selling nothing new for over a decade? The answer isn't just about making a great video game. It's about understanding one of the most profitable business models ever created. Because here's the weird part. Rockstar isn't really in the business of selling games anymore. They're in the business of owning attention. And once you understand the economics behind that strategy, you'll realize GTA 6 isn't just another game launch. It's the product of a billion-dollar machine that has been quietly generating cash, building anticipation, and widening its competitive advantage for more than 10 years. Most people think Rockstar was simply taking their time. The numbers tell a completely different story. Most people think Rockstar's biggest asset is Grand Theft Auto. It isn't. Their biggest asset is patience. Look at how the rest of the gaming industry operates. Every year there's a new Call of Duty. Sports games like EA Sports FC arrive on schedule, and publishers constantly push out sequels to keep revenue flowing. The logic seems obvious. More releases should mean more money. Rockstar rejected that formula completely. Instead of flooding the market with new titles, they bet everything on making one game so valuable that players would willingly wait for it. And somehow, that gamble paid off. Here's the part most businesses never understand. Releasing products faster doesn't automatically build a stronger company. Sometimes it does the opposite. Rockstar proved this with GTA 5. Released in 2013, the game refused to die. More than a decade later, it has sold over 215 million copies, making it one of the best-selling entertainment products in history, while generating billions of dollars through game sales and GTA Online. Most games peak in their first few months before sales slowly disappear. GTA 5 broke that rule. It kept selling year after year, attracting new players long after most publishers would have moved on to the next sequel. Rockstar wasn't just selling a game anymore. They had created an ecosystem that kept producing revenue without needing a brand new release every holiday season. But here's where things get even more interesting. The longer Rockstar stayed silent about GTA 6, the louder the internet became. Every rumor, every leaked screenshot, every trailer breakdown, and every social media discussion created free global marketing that other companies spend hundreds of millions of dollars trying to buy. While competitors fought for attention with expensive advertising campaigns, Rockstar let anticipation do the work for them. Their biggest marketing budget wasn't television commercials or online ads, it was curiosity. And that's the business lesson hiding in plain sight. The most valuable companies don't always compete by making more products. Sometimes they win by making people care so much about the next one that the entire world markets it for free. And that raises an even bigger question. If Rockstar was already making billions from a game released over 10 years ago, why would they risk spending even more time and possibly billions of dollars building GTA 6 instead of releasing it as quickly as possible? The answer comes down to one business idea that almost nobody outside boardrooms talks about: opportunity cost. On paper, delaying GTA 6 looked incredibly expensive. Reports estimate the game's development and marketing budget could exceed $2 billion, making it one of the most expensive entertainment projects ever attempted. Every extra month meant more salaries, more technology, more testing, and more pressure from investors waiting for the next blockbuster. Most CEOs would look at those numbers and say, ship it now. But Rockstar wasn't asking, how much does it cost to keep building? They were asking a completely different question. How much would it cost if we released it too early? That's a far more dangerous calculation. The gaming industry has already shown what happens when hype outruns quality. Cyberpunk 2077 1977 launched with enormous expectations, but was plagued by technical problems, forcing refunds, lawsuits, the temporary removal of the game from the PlayStation Store, and years of expensive repairs to rebuild player trust. The launch generated billions in attention, but much of it was negative. Rockstar understood that a bad GTA launch wouldn't just hurt first-week sales. It could damage GTA Online, weaken the brand, reduce future player spending, and erode the trust they've spent decades building. Here's the surprising part. The real product isn't the $70 game players buy on day one. That's only the entry ticket. The real business begins after the purchase. Millions of players join GTA Online, where they spend money on shark cards, virtual businesses, vehicles, cosmetics, and new content over many years. Suddenly, one customer isn't worth $70. They can be worth hundreds of dollars over their lifetime. That completely changes the economics. Releasing 6 months too early isn't just risking game sales. It's risking an entire long-term revenue machine. Rockstar wasn't protecting a launch. They were protecting an ecosystem. And once you see GTA as a platform instead of a product, you begin to understand why spending billions before earning billions isn't reckless at all. It's an investment in keeping one of the most profitable entertainment franchises on Earth running for another decade. By now, it should be obvious that Rockstar isn't operating like a traditional game studio anymore. They're operating like a platform company. Most people think the business model is simple. Make a game, sell millions of copies, start building the next one. That might have worked 20 years ago, but that's not how billion-dollar franchises are built today. GTA follows a completely different formula. The game launches, millions of players join. GTA Online keeps them engaged. Creators on YouTube and Twitch generate billions of views. Roleplay servers create entirely new communities. Social media keeps the conversation alive. And every new player encourages more friends to jump in. Here's the business lesson most entrepreneurs miss. Rockstar's best marketers aren't on the payroll. They're the players themselves. Every viral clip, every funny moment, every live stream, and every TikTok is free advertising that reaches millions of potential customers. That's called a network effect. The product becomes more valuable as more people use it. Companies like Apple, Netflix, and Disney understand this principle. They don't just sell products. They build ecosystems that keep customers coming back. Rockstar has done the same thing with Grand Theft Auto, but here's where the economics get even more interesting. Once a franchise reaches this level, success is no longer measured by how many copies it sells in its first week. It's measured by how long it can hold people's attention. Attention leads to engagement. Engagement leads to spending. Spending funds bigger updates, which attract more players, creating a cycle that keeps generating revenue long after launch day. That's why GTA 5 remained one of the highest-grossing entertainment products for more than a decade without a sequel. Rockstar wasn't trying to maximize one launch. They were maximizing the lifetime value of every player. And when your business is designed around keeping customers for years instead of days, you stop thinking like a game developer and start thinking like the owner of an economy. The game isn't the finish line. It's the foundation for everything that comes after. Of course, building a business this way comes with enormous risk. Spending billions of dollars doesn't guarantee success. It only increases the size of the bet. The gaming industry is filled with expensive failures that prove money alone can't create a hit. Sony's Concord reportedly cost hundreds of millions of dollars before shutting down just weeks after launch. EA's Anthem had years of development, a massive budget, and one of the biggest publishers in the world behind it, yet it failed to deliver the long-term player base the company expected. Warner Brothers' Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League also struggled to justify its enormous investment despite using one of the most recognizable comic book brands on Earth. Here's the warning every entrepreneur should hear. A bigger budget doesn't reduce risk, it amplifies it. The more money you invest, the fewer mistakes you can afford to make. Rockstar understands this better than anyone, which is why they don't chase trends or rush unfinished products into the market. They'd rather spend another year polishing a game than spend the next 5 years repairing a damaged reputation. That's only possible because GTA 5 became a financial engine instead of a one-time success. For over a decade, sales of the game and recurring revenue from GTA Online generated billions of dollars, giving Take-Two Interactive the cash flow to fund one of the most ambitious entertainment projects ever created without relying relying on a quick payday. And that's the difference between a good business and a great one. A good business depends on its next sale to survive. A great business uses today's profits to buy tomorrow's opportunities. Rockstar isn't simply making GTA 6. They're investing in the next decade of the Grand Theft Auto ecosystem. Their goal isn't to win launch week. Their goal is to make sure that 10 years from now, people are still logging in, still spending money, and still talking about the world they built. That's the kind of thinking that transforms a successful product into a billion-dollar franchise. You remember the question we started with? Why would a company willingly walk away from billions of dollars by delaying the most anticipated game in history? By now, the answer should be clear. Rockstar wasn't walking away from money. They were protecting something far more valuable: trust, reputation, and an ecosystem capable of generating revenue for years instead of weeks. Most companies are trapped in a cycle of chasing the next quarter, the next product launch, or the next spike in sales. Rockstar chose a different path. They treated GTA not as a game, but as a long-term business asset. Every delay, every extra round of development, and every decision to wait was really an investment in making sure the franchise could dominate the market long after launch day. Here's the part that changes how you think about business. The biggest companies don't always win because they move the fastest. They win because they know exactly when not to move. They understand that one bad decision can erase years of brand value, while one exceptional product can create a decade of recurring revenue. That's why GTA 5 continued printing money for more than 10 years, giving Rockstar the freedom to think in decades, while everyone else was thinking in months. The lesson goes far beyond video games. Whether you're building a startup, investing in a business, or creating a personal brand, the same principle applies. Growth without quality is temporary. Attention without trust disappears. Revenue without a sustainable model eventually runs out. You can outrun competitors. You can outspend them. You can even outmarket them. But you cannot outrun the economics of your business. In the end, Rockstar didn't build one of the world's most valuable franchises by releasing the most games. They built it by making every release matter. Build for long-term value, not short-term hype. Because trends fade, products age, but a trusted ecosystem keeps creating wealth long after everyone else has moved on.